So there are things in Botswana to do other than take care of sick people. There are things that doctors have the privilege of going on, and one of the things is going on a safari. So besides seeing me here, this is just at the very end of the rainy season, and you can see it's not sand desert. There are a lot of grasses, a lot of low trees, bushes, and the wildlife are there. So this guy runs the show. So I have a zoom lens on my camera. So yeah, this is all lions do. They just lie. I guess that's why they're called lions. They just lie on the ground. So they sleep. Somebody said they sleep 20 out of 24 hours a day, and they don't do anything. They have to go hunting once or twice a week. But as you'll see in some coming up slides, they live in a place where the whole place is a supermarket. So they have no trouble eating, and they're very healthy looking, the lions. And they don't bother people. We were told, we went in a safari car. A safari car is like a car with 3 rows of seats. The roof is empty, so you can stand up and take pictures. There are no windows. And the guide driver said, when we see a lion, you just sit still, you don't stand up, and certainly you don't get out of the car. So, but they don't bother the cars otherwise, so that's good to know. There are lots of zebra there, and the zebra are running all over the place, and they run in groups. You can see a whole bunch together here, and some more in the bushes. There's a certain safety in numbers. But it doesn't always work. So you gotta eat. I'm glad this is after lunch, otherwise you'd be too hungry to wait to the end of this talk after seeing this. So this is not just this lion eating this zebra. There were 4 or 5 lions there, and then off to the side were a group of hyenas who finished the job. They just stand there waiting for the lions to leave. But it takes a good couple of days to polish off a zebra. So we saw a big animal. These guys, you go to the Bronx Zoo, and the giraffe are in a little area, and they hardly walk around. But to watch them walk and run is just beautiful. They're really beautiful animals. They're too big and too fast for the lions, unless the lions might go after them. And if there's an older one or one that's got a bad knee, it's trouble. But basically, the giraffe can escape the lions. This is interesting. The rhinoceroses, the rhinos are an endangered species. And what the government of Botswana has done is they set up something called the Rhino Sanctuary, where they have a fenced-off area. I mean, it's a tremendous area. It's not like a zoo. It's a tremendous area, a number of square miles, where they breed rhinos. And as the rhinos become adults, they send them off to various other areas and just let them free in various other areas, not only Botswana, but they sell them to other countries as a source of income. And even this water pool is, if it gets too dry, they fill it up with water. They don't have to just depend on the rain. So the rhinos love it, Now the elephants are obviously the biggest animals around, and they're nice people. They also just stand there, don't do anything. It's hard to imagine how people hunt elephants or used to hunt lions, because they just stand there and do nothing. There's no sport in getting one of these guys. The only trouble. This is a dirt road, and you can see there's a little hill here, and you can't see what's on the other side of the hill. And there's also, when the grass is high, right after the rainy season, like it is now, if the road has a curve in it, you can't see around the curve. And if you startle an elephant, the elephant will stampede your car. So you have to be very careful with everything. You know, it's interesting, in the Bronx Zoo, I come back to the Bronx Zoo all the time. I'm sure some of us have been there, if not all of us. But you can go on an elephant ride, and they're very tame and docile. But you just don't want to come up on the side of one of these guys and when they don't expect you. So this is what we have to do. We have to save Botswana from the disease. That's the goal. I thought this is a great sign. Save Botswana. One of the other things that happens in Botswana, and by the way, I didn't even mention medical care. Before I get into the slide, medical care in Botswana is entirely free.
What?
Not only is the hospital and doctor's visits free, but medication is free. In an effort to stamp out the epidemic, people have to take their medicine. So if they go to a clinic, they have to go once a month to collect their pills. If they don't go once a month to get their medicines and bring back the empty vial of pills, they'll actually send people out to summon them to come to clinic. So if you're a day late, somebody's going to come knocking on your door to get you.
What?
And compliance, especially when it comes to HIV, and especially with tuberculosis, compliance and taking medication regularly is exceedingly important. Because one of the things that happens with any infectious agent, that when you first start taking the medication, the susceptible group of, I don't care whether it's a virus or a bacterium or tuberculosis, the susceptible group of the disease-causing organism is killed off right away. There's always one or two outliers who survive. And if you stop taking the medicine, it's the outliers, the survivors, that multiply and take over the disease. And these outliers are resistant to the antibacterial and antiviral drugs that are used. So you can't stop taking the medicine. And people with HIV have to take a lot of medicine, and more than once a day. So it's difficult, but they have to do it. And it's important to do it. So not only is medical care entirely free, but so is education. And this is high school. It's a big campus, nice buildings, nice playing fields, and good education. And so is the University of Botswana free. Not only is it free, but the students get a stipend to eat. They get free housing. They even get money to go back to their home village during school breaks. And if you want to go to get a PhD, you're supported all the way through. If you want to become a doctor, you have to go abroad. Most of the students go to South Africa for education, but it's also entirely free. One of the problems is that when the students come back from medical school, they're supposed to do community service, and it turns out that only 20% of the students who get a medical education abroad come back to Botswana. So in an effort to stop that, a medical school, as we talk, a medical school is being built right in this campus of the University of Botswana. So things are being done. And that's it.